the pitch whisperer day, guys. Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmakers getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. And that's what we do quite a bit on this show. Get to the monies. Shout out to you guys. Smash the like on your way in here. Welcome to another edition of the Balking Dead. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets. And this show is still sponsored by Prize Picks. So if you haven't already, go on over there. Use promo code HubSports. Your first match deposit up to $100. Minimum of $25. They got you. So, yeah, do us a favor, do you a favor, and go get that match deposit with that promo code PubSports. Now, we here to do what we do best. And if you in Twitter world, this video will end shortly. Hit the link, come join the chat, and come join the crew. Already 20 likes in less than a minute. You guys fucking rock, and let's get to it. I'll shout you all out, but you know who you are. Viper, LJ, Rocco, all you motherfucking dudes, always the first one here, and I appreciate it immensely. We're here to talk about K-props, the thing I'm here to talk about doing best. And, of course, I got me a bet. Well, I can't say of course because there's days where I don't get one, and if the numbers don't match up, then the numbers don't match up. So let's get into these 7 pitchers we're going to talk about today. And the first one on the board, fishy. Let's talk about Lance McCullers Jr.'s versus these were at the Rays. 5+ minus 152 this morning was where this number was at. And now the 5+ is jammed up to a minus 209. And now the numbers moved to 6+ at plus 110. Okay, but the number really was 5+ minus 150. That's the realistic number. That was the number that most of the betting worlds have. Not everybody has one book, guys. And that's the number we got to pay attention to. The fact that there was a minus 150 out there on a 5+ for Lance McCullers. Not 5.5, a 5+. So we'll get into that when we need to get into that. This is 6 games off the IL, so we don't have no 8 games to break it down. You know I love to bet on some Lance McCullers, but let's get into his 2021 and 2022 splits because he's only been off the IL now for, 6 games? So, yeah, pretty much same home road. Still 9.4 to a 9. And he's always been better on the road. Last year, 11.4. This year, 11.5. Always dominated lefties. 10.2 with a 10.8. This year, he hasn't been putting righties away as he has to the previous. And that was a 10.6. Now it's an 8.4. Granted, I get it. There hasn't been that many innings this year. So I don't even really want to put too much in it. I just did the math on both to put it to you guys. I always know I like to run Lance McCullers on the road. Last week when I ran Lance McCullers, it wasn't on the road. It was home versus the A's. But I actually had numbers to go up against already versus the A's at that same exact spot when he made his first start. Let's get into it, guys. Number 57 in the book. And what the fuck is going on here? A 5+? Really? A 5+? It's been 6.5 for his last 4 games, guys. Okay, I bet him twice, and I've stayed off of him on the back-to-back, and he didn't hit it on the back-to-back. So you're telling me you're going to drop it 1.5 what it's been at over the last few fucking weeks? Oh, God. Okay, let's get a little deeper into that then. Oh, wait, he has 5 strikeouts in 5 of 6 games that he's been in this year? Ah, fuck. All right, man. All right. If this doesn't seem like a motherfucking trap, then I don't know what is, guys. So let's get into it. These numbers, 8 walk percentage, 20.2 strikeout percentage, league average on the walk percentage. That's good, 20.2 walk percentage, 228 average with a 652 OPS and a 122 ISO. The projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties, and righties this year are hitting them at a 286, which is a little alarming compared to last year at a 188. And they are projected 5 right-handed bats and 4 left-handed bats in this lineup. Well, I didn't get too deep into it because I wanted to see the only time he didn't hit his strikeout prop of 5 was versus Baltimore. And isn't that a little weird that it's the same division, the AL East? So I wanted to go back through there and see how many lefties and righties there were and then compare it to the actual lineup that Tampa Bay is going to put out. But you guys know my rules. If it don't add up and if it seems like a goddamn trap, even if it isn't, I'm saying pass, and I'm okay if it doesn't hit, guys. At the end of the day, there's just don't give out free money. And if you're on them, I hope you hit, but it just seems way too iffy. Even if that's at a 5.5, why are they giving you something less than what the dude has been averaging? And that's especially when he averages 2.5 strikeouts more on the road. Just if it doesn't add up, I've got to let it go. And in that spot, it just doesn't add up. Now let's get into the other, well, not the other side. Let's get into a game where I'm going to talk about 2 pitchers. Kevin Gausman at the Phillies, 7+ plus 124, 34.5 fantasy score, and his prize picks is at a 6+. Let's get into the guy that I like to bet on, but a lot of the times it seems really iffy, trappy, and So over his last 8 games, he's averaging 6.8 strikeouts per 9, and they're giving us a 7+ at a plus 124. Pretty much same home road K per 9, 10.6 at home, 10.4 on the road. What is good with Mr. Gausman is his ERA on the road. He has a 2.45 ERA compared to a 4.67 at Rogers Center. So the dude does like pitching on the road, and this though not the best road to be pitching at, guys. At the end of the day, this is more playing towards the Rogers Center Stadium. So I would actually lean more towards that 4.67 ERA today, especially when I read you some of these numbers that he's going to be going up against. And we know by watching the show, or at least you do, he dominates righties, striking them out at 11.7 K per 9. Compared to left-handed bats at a 9.1. And the Phillies are projected to put out 5 left-handed and 4 right-handed bats. So math goes against him right here, except for him being on the road, and his ERA is better on the road. But like I said, the Phillies ballpark isn't the best ballpark. So, yeah, definitely got to check the wind and see where it's going because, yeah, not the best ballpark, like I said. So let's get into number 19 in the book. So he's averaging 6.8 Ks per game his last 8. And we get a 7+ at a plus 124. Now, is that fishy? Nope. Zoom it back. He's 5 wins, 5 losses. That's a 50% win rate to the last 10 at the number 7K. So at the end of the day, they're giving you plus money because the numbers I'm about to talk about. And yeah, 8.3 walk percentage league average. They're not striking out with a 19.9% strikeout rate. 262 average, 820 OPS, and a goddamn whopping ISO of 230. Wah, weezer, man. So let's get into it. We have this guy on the black book, and he's gone up against, you ready for this? 5 teams this year that are exactly like the numbers that I have here, where they have a 170 ISO or higher, which means that's great. 170 is considered great. Then they're batting over 265, and their OPS was over 800. He's seen 5 teams like this year. And what did he do in this situation? He's 1 win, 4 losses to the number 7 strikeouts, averaging 5 strikeouts a game. So there's just not enough in here for me to go out and get dirty on this guy right here. Now, can he go out there and hit it? Yeah, Gausman's been an animal this year. So it's always either over or pass. But when I dig through my book, I'm not going to bet him, so it's an easy pass. So let's get on to the other side of the game, and where I'm going to tell you I got a head-to-head versus this guy and another guy we're going to talk about because we've been taking advantage of this spot quite a bit. And if your name ain't Max Scherzer, you pretty much going to get yanked. And I don't know why they're even offering K-props on people like this. Zach Wheeler versus the Blue Jays, 4.5 on Prize Picks. His fantasy score is not available. Once again, if they're not offering you his fantasy score on Prize Picks, what does that mean? It means the guy's probably on an innings limit or a pitch count. So, oh, God, I can't bet shit like that. But let's get into it. We're a little deeper than that. It's not probably ifs, ands, or buts. But he is coming off the IL. Rule number 1 that I don't bet on, guys. Rule number 2, God dang, guys. He went to the IL August 20th. No, what day was this? August 20th, yes. He didn't throw a pitch, like play catch, until September 8th. He didn't throw off a mound until September 10th. He did no minor league rehab starts. He threw 2 innings simulated game 5 days ago. They are going to piggyback him with Noah Syndergaard for his next 2 starts. I don't think they let this guy go more than 45 fucking pitches. And even if they let him go 60, I still don't think they get him to that 4.5 mark. And why? This is now the second time seeing these Toronto Blue Jays. And yes, when he's seen these Toronto Blue Jays, they were on Mars. They were out of this world already, guys, at the end of the day with their numbers. Well, now they're in Pluto. They're actually fucking better than the last time they seen them by my numbers, guys. They were striking out at an 18% clip back then. How about a 17.3? How the fuck you get better than an 18% clip? Well, ask these Toronto Blue Jays. They sure as fuck did. They were hitting 300. Oh, how about a 306 now? 872 OPS now compared to an 817. Their ISO was 160. Now they're a 191. Back then, 4.2 innings, 6 earns, 4 strikeouts. His K-prop was 5.5 that day, and a lot of people were on it because it was like, oh, they dropped it down. And I'm like, nah, these Blue Jays are going to crush this dude. And I could definitely see it happening again. And these Blue Jays, by all the numbers, say they don't strike out. They've already ran up against him once. He had 4 strikeouts on a full pitch count, 4.5. Ah, man, it was at 5 plus was at minus 117 this morning. It's now at plus money. I took my dirty K, which we'll talk about later, and I ran him head to head. And I took him up against Zach Wheeler, and then I took him up against this other guy I'm going to talk about strictly because they're on pitching limits and pitch counts. I'm going to fuck them in the eye hole. And even though I paid minus 159 for this head-to-head, I'm pretty damn sure I cash it and that worst get a push. So, and I'm not worried about the Wheeler part. What I would be worried about is if Luis Severino decides to go out there and strike out every Pirate and their mother. Now, Luis Severino is another guy coming off the IL today, guys. But this guy's a little more different than the last guy I talked about. Luis Severino striking out 11.1 K per 9 at home compared to an 8.7 on the road. He is at home in this spot. He doesn't strike out lefties, 6.7 K per 9 to lefties compared to righties with a 12.5. And they are projected 6 lefties, 3 right-handed bats. This is why I chose to go up against Severino as well with Wheeler against my dirty K when we get to him because, yes, we'll get into his pitch count, which Severino should go anywhere between 70 and 80 pitches. He's already faced this team on a full pitch count. 6 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs with 3 Ks. Yes, the strikeout number is 3% worse. And yeah, I get it. But they're also hitting a little bit better now than they were then. And back then it was 6 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs with 3 strikeouts. What do we know about the Pirates? That they have a bunch of switch hitters. That's why I know I would have never ran Luis Severino versus them the first time because I'm like, nah. And back then they put in 7 lefties. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 6 to 7 lefties in this lineup out there. Consider switches lefties. And yeah, they're not going to strike out as much as I've got my guy in the Dirty K. That's going to put people down in a coffin tonight. And Luis Severino versus these Pirates. 5+ -162 this morning is now at a -176. And the 6+ is at a -152. No way can I bet a guy coming off the IL. No way can I bet a guy on a pitch count. I don't care if the Pittsburgh Pirates are walking at an 8% and striking out at a 26%. So I get it if you're looking at the walk and strikeout percentage numbers, but this guy pitched 2 games so far in the minor league rehabs. Okay, at least he got some rehab action in, right? Well, he hasn't gone past the 45 and 57 pitches. So realistically, I can see them limiting him to 60 or letting him go to 75. I'm not here to guess what, which, or what. I don't bet on guys on pitch limits. You're fucking playing with fire at the end of the day. Can he hit 5 or 6? Yeah, but I don't think he beats the guy that we're going to be getting dirty with later fucking on. The reports that I did read is they are projecting 70 to 80, but like I've said numerous of times on this show, Aaron Boone is a cock sucker. That's one dude that'll screw you on a K prop so many times. You'll be humming and they'll be yanked. Or you'll be that close and they'll be man. If you're on him today, be careful. Know he's on a pitch count. Know he has to do that within 70 to 80 pitches. Know that they are going to load up lefties. The only thing that does favor him here is how much he does strike people out at home compared to on the road. Last time he did face them was on the road, so maybe that factors into it. And I could definitely see around that 5 or 6 mark, guys, in that pitch frame. But yeah, definitely don't bet guys on pitch counts at all. So not for me. If it's for you, please be safe. Yesterday, if you were on Nasty Nestor, the guy didn't get there. And thank you, Jesus, for my rules. Woo! Throw some salt behind me. And thank you, baby Jesus. We've got 3 more pitchers to talk about, guys. Shout out to the chat. You guys rock. 60 live and almost 50 likes without me even asking. Yeah. We still got the Dirty K coming, which means what? We got some tickets to cash. And we got 3 motherfucking dudes in the book to talk about. Oh, coffee. Oh. All right, guys. Shout out to you all, though. I see you, Raw Twerk, Rocco Rogers, Jacksonville Zoe, Mad Stoney, Dalton. My guy, Matt Stoney's always here. He's like first one to get to all the videos, leave comments, even come after because he watches them again. I appreciate you, bro. And let's get to Tristan McKenzie at these White Sox. Trap number motherfucking 2, guys. 5+ -170. Now at a 5+ -164. 34.5 fantasy score. Well, let's talk about our guy, Tristan McKenzie. His 6+ is at a -102 if you are looking at it that way. But I've got to look at numbers that I would look to bet. And at a -163, 164, that is a number I would probably bet. I know a lot of you wouldn't look to bet it, but to me, that's a number that's like, okay, that's doable. And let's get into his last 8. He's averaging 6.8 strikeouts a game over his last 8. And you're giving me a fucking 5? He's almost averaging 7 strikeouts a game here, guys. Okay. Let's get into his home road splits. Yes, he is on the road here. On the road, he only averages 7.1 K per 9 compared to at home, 11 K per 9. And if you watch yesterday about the candy cane, yes, his stuff ain't about a candy cane, but it has a lot to do with having a white jersey with him to me. That's what that tells me. The guy has a problem hiding a baseball. At home, you have a white jersey. It's a little harder to pick up a baseball when your background is white. But at the end of the day, that 4 strikeout difference on the road, woof, and he is on the road here. And he dominates lefties, striking them out compared to righties, which is also different for a right-handed pitcher when he strikes them out at a 10 K per 9, when righties are just at a 7.9 K per 9. And the White Sox are projected 6 right-handed bats, 3 left-handed bats. Well, let's talk about him, guys, because a lot of the time we talk about guys on pitching limits. And we talk about, this guy's got to be watched. This guy's got to be watched. And this guy right here is 30 innings past his career innings limit. But this is still a guy, if you're looking to bet on, you can bet on. Why? Because he has 8 straight games with 3 earned runs or less. He has not shown you anything other than but that he is still ready to go and to be bet on. Now, if you are looking to bet on a guy over 30 innings past his career limit, that's when you need to start looking to see if they're even talking about a pitching limit. Google search his name, pitching limit. Google search, look for newspaper clips. Look for stuff. If there's any type of talk about it, you got to let him go. I won't even look at it and go that far deep into it today because this line tells me to run for the motherfucking hills. Whether it hits or not, cool. I'm not that guy to go out and want to slam dudes unders. That's not for me. But if it doesn't look right, I got to just let it go. And that's just been really good for me, really good for business, and really good for you guys if you've been tailing, which I know a lot of you guys have. So pre-All-Star, 3.20 ERA compared to a 2.92 ERA for Tristan McKenzie. And his K per 9 went from an 8.5 to a 9. So the guy's actually gotten better any which way you want to look at it. And he's bet on, except for why do they do this to us? Let's talk about number 38 in the black book. Line seems fishy, guys. 5+ minus 164, where he's hit that at an 80% win rate over his last 10 games. Oh, man, this seems really, really weird, guys. Even that 6+ at a minus 102, he's hit at a 60% win rate. And that's not the implied probability of something that's hitting that 60%. So strictly on the line, I'm going to run. And then if I go look at it, this will be the 4th time he played them. He played them very first month of the year on an 80-pitch limit on April 20th. He went 4.1 innings, 1 earned run with 4 strikeouts. Then he faced them again on July 23rd, 5.2 innings, 1 earned runs with 4 Ks. And then the outlier, guys, the one game where he went and got that ass, bro. 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 14 strikeouts on August 19th. Now, they're going to give me a 5+ minus 163, where he's hit this 8 out of his last 10 games. 80% win rate, minus 163. That ain't adding up. Okay, let's get into these numbers. These are actually, if you go by walk percentage and strikeout percentage, the best numbers all year long that he's going to see versus this team. They are 5.1 walk percentage with a 25.5 strikeout percentage. 24 is bad. 27 is where you stick the fucking knife in. They're at a 25.5. They haven't been higher than a 22.2 all year since he faced them. And they are still mediocre hitting, 246, 690 OPS with a 160 ISO. And that's going to be the highest ISO that he's faced all year. But the average has been right around that range, 260 to a 270. So technically their average is down. All the numbers to me tell me, like, yes, he probably should go out there and get that from what he's done on to them career-wise this year versus these other numbers. But the line says, oh, man, go fuck yourself, guys. At the end of the day, if you're on them, be careful. Me, if the line don't add up, if I'm not betting the guy, I'm here to bet guys' averages. If I can't get the guy's average, if the juice doesn't even add up to the line, I got to let it go. I'm not saying it always doesn't hit, but more often than not, I'm right. Castillo last night didn't hit, right? And I talked about how the juice just didn't add up to the man's average. Just because they give you a man's average doesn't mean you should bet it. Why were they giving you plus money in a layup spot? Like, man, no. Life ain't that easy, guys. And the books are setting traps left and right, and it's our job to figure it out. So, yeah. Tristan McKenzie, if it wasn't for the line, I'd be on you here, bud. But I got to pay attention to this type of stuff. Whether it doesn't go my way or it does, I'm okay. Because why? I am here to bet people's averages. We're going to hit a quick commercial, and we've got 2 people to talk about. We've got a Dirty K to talk about. It's either going to be May Day or Ray Day. So tune the fuck in, and let's get to the monies. Yeah. If you guys haven't already, go on over to Manscaped. Use that promo code PUBSPORTS. Get you some free shipping on that Lawnmower 4.0. And yeah, stop hedging your bets. Go hedge your balls. Do yourself a favor and watch how many more favors your lady does for you. Now, let's get into what you all are here for. The dirty motherfucking K. Robbie motherfucking Ray. 70 live, not 50 likes yet. All I ask for is a like. How come I don't have 70 for 70? I'm better than ESPN, 30 for 30. So I at least deserve 1 per 1. So let's get into Robbie Ray. And let's get into why he's the money play of the day, guys. 7+ minus 126 is where I bet him. And at this very moment before the show, it was 7+ minus 130. Let's talk about him. He is on the road versus these Oakland A's. Prize Picks has him at a 6.5, whereas Fantasy Score is at a 40.5. Over his last 8 games, he is averaging 6.9 strikeouts per 9. Uh-oh. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, is that a problem, guys? No. Yes, it could be. It could be fishy, but let's zoom it back. And he has 5 wins, 5 losses to the number 7+ over the last 10. I actually read you something earlier from another guy, Kevin Gausman, who's also averaging the same amount of strikeouts this guy's averaging, and he also got a 7+. And he's also 5 wins, 5 losses to that number 7 over his last 10 games. He got a plus 124. How come I got a minus 126 in the same exact situation? Huh? Because you know what I motherfucking know, books. Because you know what I know, and what I know is money. And let's talk about Robbie Ray, guys, and why we got juice and why Gausman didn't. And yeah, he averages same amount of strikeouts home per road, 10.2 on the road, 10.2 at home K per 9. And the only problem is his ERA. That's a 5.08 on the road compared to a 2.73 at home. Well, we're in Oakland. This place plays like Seattle, if any other fucking ballpark does in this world. And yeah, you know what ballpark doesn't play like Seattle and what doesn't play like Oakland? How about the place where he was last week, where we told you on this show that shit was a trap. The line, the number was right like Castillo. The juice was not. And the juice is right. The juice technically should be plus money on a 50-50 thing that's hitting 50%. But I get it. Technically, all I'm doing is here to bet people's averages. And this is what he's hit 50% of the time over his last 10 games. And I'm going to tell you, he's going to hit it 55% of the time over his last 10 games after today, guys. And that's what I'm here to do, is bet dudes' averages and keep fucking them in the eye hole. Strikes out lefties at 11.1 K per 9, while righties are at a 10.1, and they are projected 7 right-handed bats and 2 left-handed bats. Number 6 in the black book. Now 4th time seeing these A's. He faced them back in May, and he went 6 innings, 3 earned runs with 10 strikeouts. And this team, that's when they were hitting the best he's seen them all year. They were at a 263 average, 732 OPS. Okay, cool. And they weren't striking out, and they were walking like He-Man. 11.7 walk percentage, 17.8 strikeout percentage. Holy jamamba. And you went out there, went 6 innings, 3 earned runs with 10 strikeouts. Not too shabby. All right, but that was at home, where this dude does do better at home ERA-wise, right? And he gave up 3 runs, but the strikeouts were there. Now we go on the road to June 23rd. And he's facing a team walking below league average, 7.5%. They're still not striking out. They're underneath that 20% clip. Like, golly, man, can you like buckle up and put your seatbelt on and strike out sometimes? And 205 average, 598 OPS, and an ISO of 124. So even though they weren't striking out, they weren't hitting for crap. And he went out there and went 6 innings, 1 earned run, and 6 strikeouts. So didn't have the game and didn't hit that prop. But the strikeout numbers didn't say that he was going to hit it. So okay, I get it. Now he faces them again, 5.3 walk percentage with a 19.6 strikeout percentage. So every fucking time this year that he's faced them, it's a 20% strikeout percentage or lower. Like, what the fuck, man? Can you guys please strike out? Like, please. Oh, we're going to get to that. And yeah, what did he do versus them? They still weren't really hitting. 221, 601 OPS with a 108 ISO. And he went out 6.2 innings, 1 earned run with 12 punchies. 12 Mike Tyson punch outs, guys. At the end of the day, we now get a team walking the worst he's seen all year at a 5.3%. Worst strikeout percentage all year at a 28.2%. Oh, they're striking out, and you get Robbie Ray. Woo-hoo-hoo. Y'all in for a long motherfucking day. Still not hitting the ball. 204 average, 595 OPS, and a 141 ISO. So math checks out. Yes. Numbers say yes. Let's go fucking deeper, guys, and let's just tell you how much I love this guy today. And I always tell you I like to bet guys 1.5 more than what I have him projected, right? Okay, he's at 7, and I'm about to tell you 8.6 is the number he averages in this spot. And it's not no weak-ass, little-ass fucking 2, 3, 4 games. No, let's get into it, guys. When I dig into the black book, he has faced 9 teams this year with a 24% strikeout percentage or worse. 24 is bad. 27, you want to put the knife in, okay? How does he do in those games? He's 7 wins, 1 loss to the number 7 strikeouts, averaging 8.6 strikeouts a game. There's just every fucking which way I look, every which way I dig in, tells me Robbie Ray fucks these Oakland A's and gives me 7 strikeouts. Too easy. Let's just keep this train going and keep this streak rolling. And can I say cash it before it cashes? Because as long as he stays injury-free today, Robbie Ray gets us fucking 7. And now let's get into the last guy, to the very last guy, to where if he wasn't on a limit, I would be on Dustin May as well. But they put Dustin May 6+ at plus 104, and people's been betting him. He's at a minus 107. And the last few weeks he's been at 5s. And he didn't hit it last week. We were on him. And he had a no-hitter going through 5 innings. 69 pitches, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 5 innings, and he got pulled. He wasn't hurt. Nothing. I didn't cry. I threw my phone. Thank God it didn't break because I just bought this phone. And I was listening to the radio, like I say all the time on the show. And the radio said, Dave Roberts talked about pulling their young fucking starters for the rest of the year since they've already wrapped up the division. And wish I would have fucking knew that before I bet him. I mean, now I know it now, but that's some shit you wish you would know before you put money on a guy. That they're going to pull him at times. That they're not going to let him go long. Fuck you, Dave Roberts. And, yeah, see, I'm not biased, guys. I'm a Dodgers fan. I just think Dave Roberts is a fucking clown. He's a puppet. He doesn't even pull the strings. People tell him what to fucking do, and he does it. So, old puppeteer Dave Roberts over there fucking pulled my guy, our guy. We all had money on the dude, and that was just some straight bullshit that I found out after losing my money. But let's talk about our guy Dustin May. I don't even understand why they would jump it up 6+. I get that these numbers are bad for Arizona, and this is a team who normally doesn't strike out and makes really good contact, but 8 walk percent, 25.8 strikeout percent, that's terrible. 222 average, 701 OPS, and an ISO of 190. So the ISO and OPS is good, but they're not really getting on base, and they're striking out quite a bit. And what do we know about Dustin May? Dustin May owns left-handed bats. What do you mean by owns? He strikes them out at a 13.9 K per 9 compared to righties at an 8.3. And the projected lineup is 7 left-handed bats that these Arizona are projected to put out there. And it's not just the math right there. It's going to be the home road splits that tell you to smash this guy as well. And maybe that's why they added on the extra one. And he averages a 13.4 K per 9 at home compared to a 9.6 on the road as well. So this guy smashes in this type of spot, but Arizona is also one of those teams that can smash you and kick you right in your nuts if you're betting K props versus them. Even though the numbers say they're bad right now and that they have been getting hit by strikeout props, they're still one of those teams that make really good contact. So be careful when you are running up against them, and be careful betting on a guy that has a fucking pitch count and an innings limit, guys. Like, at the end of the day, I thought it was 90-6. No, it got even worse last time out. I can't project it. I don't know when they're going to let him go, when they're not. So I will just – baseball's only got a few weeks left. I will enjoy watching Dustin May instead of putting my money on him and hoping that he doesn't get pulled and that he hits it before he gets pulled. So can't put my money on a hope. What I can put my money on is Robbie fucking Ray. That is the Dirty K of the day. Shout out to you all who hit the like. Almost like per live. 80 live, 64 likes. You guys fucking rock. Check out the fucking breakdown on Robbie Ray. If you need the why, here and now on why we will cash our ticket tonight. Shout out to you all. Smash the like. Until next time, let's just keep this train rolling. Sharpie 316, guys. It's a lifestyle, not a hobby.
Like, I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god.